I'm going to teach you part 2 of teaching aptitude. Let's start with constructivism. The learner activity constructs knowledge. Jean Piaget and J.S. Brunner believe that learning involves an active processing of information, that each individual activity of organize and construct knowledge for itself. Educational psychology believe that there are developmental stages for knowledge organization. According to Jean Piaget, accommodation and assimilation are basic to learning. A learner develops new schema through accommodation. New experiences are assimilated into already existing schemas, or they may be accommodated by creating new schemas. Next, humanism. It is reasonable balance in life and regards humans as the center measures of all activities. Humanism believe in the interest and welfare of all human beings. Thus, the life of a human being should be transformed so that the welfare of all becomes the goal. The form of learning is an self actualization. It advocates cooperation, mutual tolerance, and social understanding. Next, rationalism. Rationalist claims that there are significant ways in which our concept and knowledge are gained independently of sense experience. Empiricist next empiricist claims that sense experience is the ultimate source of all our concept and knowledge. Next, essentialism. It is a philosophy that emphasizes individual existence, freedom, and choice. This emphasizes the uniqueness and isolation of the individual experience in a hostile or in a different universe, regards human existence as an unexplainable and stressful freedom of choice and responsibility for the consequences of one's act. Next, behavioralism. It assumes that learner is a passive organism who may be conditioned to learn new behavior. Therefore, learning could be explained by change in observable behavior. E.L. Thorndike postulated the law of exercise and the law of effect. A law of exercise. Repeating a conditioned response would strengthen the bond between the stimulus and the response. In other words, practice makes a man perfect. B. Law of effect. Law of effect is a principle of reinforcement, and punishment. Pleasures and pains resulting from previous behavior decide our future behavior. 11. Gestalt psychology. It believes that the whole is greater than the sum of its part. For example, in human body there are cell, tissues, organs, systems, etc. The sum of all these components is a greater than sum of its part. This is because the parts are interrelated to each other. Next, further, Gestalt psychology demonstrated the significance of perception. It also showed that the complex learning need not occur gradually through lengthy practice but may develop through insight. 12th, electic philosophy. Electicism is a nothing but fusion of knowledge from all sources. It is peculiar type of educational philosophy which combines all good ideas and principles from various philosophies. There are many more philosophies of education. Each of the philosophies has have its contribution and limitations. Not a single philosophy is complete in itself. Also, a single philosophy cannot be applied successfully in all situations because the word and its values are continuously changing. The educational system also changes from time to time. Let's now come into important concept in education and its proponents. Concept and main proponents you have to study over here. Basic education, Vardha education system. Mahatma Gandhi. Learning to take place in nature and from nature, Rabindranath Tagore. Here It is referring let learning to take place in nature and from nature. That is given by Rabindranath Tagore. Integral education, Sri Aurobindo, focus on spiritual aspect of Indian philosophy. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Here, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan wants to say that you have to focus on the spiritual aspect of Indian philosophy. Okay, and now you have to move on. Education to transfer human mind. That is given by J. Krishnamurti. That education is transferring human mind. Experiential learning, John Dewey, very very important concept which is given by John Dewey. uh, Self education through development of individuality, Maria Montessori. Here, Maria wants to say that self education, you can educate yourself through development of individuality, your personality, your individuality. She wants to focus. Frobel, kindergarten focused on self activity, creativeness, and social cooperation. Frobel wants to concentrate, make you, he's make you referring on kindergarten focus on self activity. Matlab, here he wants to say that primarily children's mainly focus on their self activity, creativeness, and social cooperation. Rousseau here said that no formal learning, nature is the only teacher. There are no formal learning, nature is the only teacher. Okay, now you have to move on forms of education. Though there are no clear cut forms of education, we can discuss about the three types that are as follows: formal, informal, non formal. Formal education. It is pre planned, direct, organized, given in a specific educational institutions such as school, colleagues. It is limited to specific period. It has well defined curriculum. It is give it is given by qualified trained teacher. Formal education observes strict discipline. It occurs at different levels such as primary, middle, secondary, higher secondary, graduate, postgraduate, doctorate, postdoctorate. It can be in humanities, science, technical and professional areas. Here they are saying that formal education mean that there is pre-planned, direct, organized, and specific educational institution are there. Just say for example, school, colleges. There are limited, well-defined curriculum, specific period limitation are given. They had given a trained, qualified teachers. Formal education observes strict discipline. It occur at different levels. Just say for example, primary, middle, secondary, higher, graduate, postgraduate, doctorate, postdoctorate. It comprises of humanities, science, technical and professional areas. Okay, now next, informal education. The quote by George Satyana: a child educated only at school is an uneducated child. Amplify reflects upon the importance of informal education. Informal education is not pre planned or deliberate, it is indirect and spontaneous. It takes place from day to day activity, experiences, and living in the family or community. There are no formal goals. Pistology believed parents are the first informal teacher of every man or woman. Family environment is the first learning environment. Here they want to say that informal education means, which is the quote given by George Santayana. He says, a child educated only at a school is an uneducated child. Whoever said that Child education is only at school as an educated child. Amplify reflects upon the importance of informal education. Here he reflects the importance of informal education, which is given by the family itself, environment which is given to our children, and especially here he wants to referring the parents, especially mother and father. Mother and father is the key role of an informal education to any children. Now you have to focus on non-formal education. There is no formality in education, that is called non-formal education. Education is a lifelong process. It is integrated with life and work. It falls within the formal and informal types of education. It is a flexible system. It is intentional, incidental, and given outside the formal system. It is consciously and deliberately planned, organized, and systematically implemented. It is an open system of education without rigid rules, regulation, and fixed ages and stages or time schedule. Social and or adult education, distance education are the example of non-formal education. All these three types of education, such as formal, informal, non-formal, have their due place in the model system of education. Each has its own merit demerit. There is need to integrate three forms and make education holistic and comprehensive. Thus we can see the above three components are mixed up in actual life situation. Active agencies like family, school, colleague, work through human interaction. Cinemas, radios, newspaper, magazines are counted as passive agencies where education is mostly seen as the way as one way interaction, but some feedback mechanism and panel discussion may also exist. Mother, here they wanted to say that non-formal education means education is a lifelong process. You cannot be say like education is not a lifelong. You can learn throughout your lifelong. It is an integrated with life and work. This a non-formal education have that strengths with life and work. It falls within the formal and informal types of education. It is flexible system, it is intentional, incidental, and given outside the formal system. It is consciously, deliberately planned. It is planned, organized, systematically implemented. It is open system of education without rigid rules, regulation, fixed ages, stages, or time schedule. Here they want to refer that there is no fixed rules, no rigidity is there, no time variation, no age variation. So it is very flexible type of education. Okay, now you have to move on aims and objectives of education. In today's situation, no nation can think of social or economic development without an abundant supply of highly educated and skilled people. The issue of function, objective of education is of utmost importance because of all other aspect of education like the content, method of teaching and instruction, discipline and evaluation are integrated with it. Most of the education function of education becomes clear to us through various definitions given above. Havigrust and Newgarten have given two important functions of education system. A mirror that reflects society as it is or to be stabilizer of the society, an agent of social change or a force directed towards implementing the ideas of society. Here they are focusing aim and objective education in a comprised way. You can say no nation can think of social and economic development without an abundant supply of highly educated and skilled people. Okay, this is directly indicating what they want to say. They are saying कि कोई भी ऐसा राज्य या ऐसा कोई नेशन नहीं है जो सोशल और इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट बिना किसी हाईली एजुकेटेड स्किल्ड पीपल के बिना सोच सके. The issue of function and objectives of education is of utmost importance because all other aspects of education like the content, subject matter, method, discipline and evaluation are integrated. Matlab, these are the some element which is very important to education. What are they? Content, that is subject matter, method, that is teaching and instruction, how you are going to teach, what kind of method you are going to use. Discipline and evaluation are integrated. Evaluation means lastly you are literally analyzing the feedback of that particular thing. Okay, so here it is. Thank you and have a nice day.